Right, so let's play Dragon Valley. This was posted by Wedrical. I think that's how you pronounce it in Marcel's Discord. Looks really, really cool. So let's actually go into the scenario. Really, really, really like the landscape a lot. I love all the features. I haven't really had a look deep into everything. Nitpick. That's kind of cool. No entry sign there. But yeah, this looks really, really awesome. It's always funny, like RCT and stuff, where yeah, you just can't actually do a full tunnel there. So yeah, I guess you could drive past that, but yeah, the point of this scenario is you have the two exits opposite side, and you kind of just need to connect the middle. It's connected by a chairlift already, but I'm really not a fan of chairlifts, so probably will eventually get rid of the chairlift for transport and just maybe put some path if I can. I'm pretty sure I can. This all looks like, yeah, it seems like I can build all this area in the middle, which is really, really cool. Park value goal. So really with these, you just kind of ignore it and just keep building a park. And then, I don't know, a few years in when you think you have a lot of stuff, reopen everything. Like refurbish all the rides and you should just hit the value. Obviously, you can just put in park value bombs and meet this, but that's not very fun. So I'm going to look at the space that I have to work with. I should probably look at, what have we got? Research, probably just do roller coaster thrill rides. I always check, make sure you have, yeah, information kiosk and toilets. If you have the information kiosk, toilets, a food and a drink, there's like no reason to have any more shops and stalls unless you're actually doing like a goal with like merchandise sales or whatever, and then you want to sell the hats and stuff. That's all good, but it's also cool. He's selected all these like Asian themed rides, like, just like, you know, the Eastern sort of, just the Chinese. I don't know, just what are they actually called? But obviously they're meant to be themed around, you know, Chinese sort of aesthetic of like buildings and stuff. Got some pretty cool water rides. Log flumes are great. River rapids, I'm not sure if they're as good. I can always build one later. Boat hire rides, I actually like to build boat hires. They're not the best ride, but I just think they're cool. Oh man, this is crazy. So we've already got launch freefall, which is actually really, really good. Um, you probably only really need like a launch freefall or any thrill ride, but I don't want to build like 50 of these. I'll probably just build one, maybe one on either side. And also good selection of roller coasters to start with. I don't really build the water coaster. I haven't built it much, but these three are just roller coaster tycoon classics. Looping coaster, looping roller coaster. I keep wanting to call it the steel one because the roller coaster tycoon one, but I love this coaster. It's just a perfect middle coaster for me. A junior coaster, again, excellent coaster, just nice and cheap. You can just build like any generic design with it, it'll look cool. Even if like a kind of scammy looking one can look decent. And the wooden wired mouse. Apart from low throughput, this ride is just insanely good. It's just cost efficient, always gets really high stats. And there's kind of just no reason not to build like at least one of these. Gentle rides, I like the spiral slide, but gentle rides, you know, they're not really as good as maybe build a couple of them, like an observation tower, to make, I don't know, just to make the place look cool, I guess. You've got hut-like monorails. It's a nice little detail. Yeah, in saying that, I think we have a good selection of rides to start with. Roller coasters like the one thing that I want more of. So I might just leave only roller coasters checked and maximum funding until that runs out, and then I'll select some other ones. But I'm happy with everything that I've got so far. It's obviously nothing like crazy like the vertical drop coaster or whatever, but we can worry about that stuff later. So what should we do? I don't really want to delete like all this nice scenery. I'd rather work around it. It does look cool. But some of the dead ends I do want to get rid of just so that guests don't get stuck. And we can always put path back there if we want. Or yeah, we'd respect it with like a no entry sign, a nice pagoda no entry sign, just so people don't get stuck. There's a rocket. Is that Chinese? I don't know. That doesn't look very Chinese to me. I guess China do space stuff. Let's get some food. Guess probably gonna be hungry. I know if I went into a park, I'd probably want to, you know, say if I was starving, I really would appreciate having like a little snack. Let's give it some roast sausage. Price is already set, it seems, which is pretty good. I'm not sure. I guess in this scenario, are there already? No, I think the prices were just set to be whatever is like the good, the perfect price for default happiness guest that would actually like the max they will pay. Get some Korean style drinks going. We can just pretend. It's Chinese, right? No one will ever notice. Let's replace that house with a hut, a little stall. Toilet. I want to put this in like a real sneaky little area. I always want to put the like path all the way around. That would be good. 2 connections is good. So these aren't adjusted at all, actually. It just says max. It's just already set to same price throughout park. It's kind of interesting. That must have been a manually done thing, because no other park that I've had has actually done that. So I should sell some Bordeaux red balloons. The deep red color I really associate, like deep red and a gold with Chinese stuff. So probably using that sort of color throughout rides and everything, and the pagoda entrance a lot, just like the chairlifts have. And open that up. I'll go to the other side and also put in some food for the guests on this side so they do not starve. So some star fruit drink. Quite thirsty myself. I could go for a star fruit drink. Roast sausage. Fried rice noodles. Perfect. Let's do 130 profit for these. Doesn't really matter too much. You can always micromanage them later. As long as you just click it up a couple times, like 2 or 3 times. Should be making some good profit. Without annoying anyone. Okay, so if we got a rocket here, right, may as well do like escape hatch, but with no scenery. Yeah, let's do this, and we'll just change the entrance. We'll get that out the way. Ooh, get the entrance out the way. I wish there was more paths in this game, like a red path without the space thing, like with this, because you know, if you want a red path, you just get these metal space supports, and it just kind of it only looks like space. So just use whatever is the queue line path that matches the normal path it's around, and give it a test. Once it goes off, open it straight away. It's a pre-built, so it shouldn't crash. Here's a price to like $12. Actually, maybe let's be too high. Let's do 10. Usually look at the excitement, the intensity, and the nausea. And then if someone's in the queue, you look at the thoughts. And then you see if it's too expensive or not. So they're happy to pay $10 for that, which is pretty cool. Let's see. I think I'd need a connector path here anyway, because otherwise the mechanics won't be able to get from one ride to the other. So probably just need to make a catwalk anyways. Let's get rid of that house. Whoever was living there, I feel sorry for him, but whoops, did not mean to click up. Let's do, where do we connect this? Pretty, yeah, just keep going this way, I guess. Don't want to, like, I don't know, I can always rearrange this stuff later. I don't want to think too hard about it. But I'll also need to build... Will that match up? Oh, look at that. He knows. He knows. It's connected this perfectly. Build, like, I don't know, a few food stalls here and, like, one ride here. And then no one will really, like, guests won't be upset when they're here and they have nothing to eat or whatever. So we'll do umbrellas. We should really color the umbrellas as well, like gold umbrellas. And we got a flying roller coaster. That's actually really, really cool. Pretty expensive. We don't have a lot of money. 10% here. Pretty decent loan. So I build like some shuttle designs early and then get into like the big flying coasters later. We'll probably do a lot with that. Most beautiful park in the country. It's great because that was all the creator of this map's doing. I didn't do anything. We'll do a bit of a westernized section for the kids. You know, kids are a bit fussy. They don't want Chinese food. They just want like chicken nuggets or something. Get some lemonade. Yeah, lemonade. I'll keep guests happy when they're over there. Put a ride there, but I want to put a ride in this area to start with. Motion simulator. Should I put this? It'd be cool to like just work around the area. Why was I actually thinking when doing this? I do not know. Why don't we do this? That kind of makes sense. Which is a better one? Avenging Aviator Thrill Riders, I think. And color it up. Do saturated red and the dark yellow for the gold. I don't know. It kind of doesn't work. Yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it like that. And I forgot to change this to pagoda as well. There we go. Actually, main color scheme. Do gold. Alternate to saturated red. Yeah, so far so good. Just got to keep building rides. Keep building rides until we get there. We'll do a little water and boat hire here, I think. Just so that people have something to go on when they're down here. And then I'll probably just go straight into building a roller coaster. Like, I really should be building like a shuttle design straight away, but... Probably like a really inefficient design. But who cares? We'll fix this up later. We'll do something with it later. Maybe that is a bad idea. We'll just do the exit here. So we can have queue path. Probably like way too long of a queue line, but no big deal. Actually, hold on. What have we got available? Water tricycles or bumper boats? Alright, we definitely use the bumper boats. Bumper boats should be... They're one of the better ones. I forget... I think it's the jet skis and the dolphins are like the best or equal best. And then followed by the bumper boats. Bumper boats takes the bronze for that one. I would love to individually color all of these, but... Probably do that later. It's quite time consuming. I do like to have dark water on the track pieces so that it just kind of blends. I know you can go open up cheats and go to the tile inspector and delete them, make it look like a free boat ride, but I don't think I have cheats enabled. I don't. There's no thing for it. Pagoda. Yeah, there we go. Now we got a Chinese boat ride. It's official. You just add pagoda entrance and suddenly the ride is Asian themed. That's how it works. Okay, speaking of Asian themed. So we got flying. It's, yeah, very expensive. It's definitely the most expensive coaster by a margin. Looping coaster though, we can make a nice shuttle design with it, so we can actually build a pretty cheap shuttle design. I don't know if I've saved any good ones. There's always this one we can go for, but then I can just change the color. Obviously, I don't want to choose this scenario and build park value bombs. If I can find a good spot to put this, I might, yeah, actually might just put one on the hill here. Might look pretty cool. I don't think it'll let us build over the trees without deleting them, so I think that's why, but this actually looks like a good spot. If there's any gap on this side as well, yeah, perfect. We can just put the station, everything on this side. Yeah, I just rearranged the path here, I think. Yeah, that guest fell. He's lost. We gotta save him. Wherever he is. There he is. Dorothy. Okay, so make a path. Could you even, I don't know, you can't really, can you? Ooh, look at that. Look at this pathing. Oh, come on. Look at that little thing. Can we change height in this scenario? Yes, we can. Thank God. It's a neat little restriction to have in, but it just kind of, throttles your creativity if you do that. Pretty dodgy looking path there. You got like a down and up thing. Could I just make that straight? Yeah, I can. That works. So we test, let it launch, and then we should be good. And then what we're gonna do is, I don't want to call it something like China Loop that just makes no sense. Let's leave it as looping roller coaster 1 for now, and then of course we are going to go pagoda, saturated red, dark yellow. Probably actually change these. There we go. So you get like a gold rimmed sort of royal red ride. You can also use, I guess, the canvas tent if you really want. I'll stick to pagoda for now. And actually, like pagoda, it probably looks better to use Bordeaux red. It fits the pagoda more. And you can use like a brown as well for the support. Brown, yeah, I think brown support looks good. But I think just for steel rides, I do think this royal red sort of color does look nicer, even though it doesn't really match the pinky red that the pagoda entrance has. See if we can make like a royal, more royal looking purpley sort of thing. Maybe not. And we'll just leave it like that. We will just leave it like that. So we have through right here. Been streaming for what? We've been working on the park for 20 minutes and we got 3 rides, but we pretty much placed everything else that we need to just keep expanding the park as we go. And really should be setting the prices of stuff as we go. For shuttle loop design, I do try to, like, I don't want to charge more than 10 bucks for one of those designs. This thing, I don't actually know how much you can charge for the motion simulator, but you should be able to charge at least whatever the excitement rating is, and then if the other ones are higher, that should pump up as well. You could probably charge more than 4 bucks for this, but I mean, it's just a motion simulator, so whatever. And actually, with the queue line like this, is anyone even gonna go on this? Oh, it's a really good value. Okay. Up this up to 250. Actually, we should really disable minimum waiting times on rides. What I want to do here is actually put an entertainer here in the queue line. Maybe not an astronaut. It's funny, this little thing, this astronaut helmet icon, it looks like a fried egg. Astronaut, tiger, panda. Panda's probably the most Asian one. Panda and tiger. So he's just going to walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And keep the guests happy. I'm also going to put some queue line TVs in there. So no one in this queue line should actually complain that they're in the queue line for too long. Between those two, it should just be impossible for them to actually think that. What do we do now? Oh, corkscrew, beautiful. So I'd like to build, yeah, more shuttle designs. I do like starting off with shuttle designs, and then as you make more profit, you can just build these like huge coasters, like the flying roller coaster and stuff. So I might make sure I have one each of these coasters just as I unlock them. And yeah, I do like shuttle designs. Obviously not the cheaty ones. I try to not use them. I'll maybe stick one like a junior ride, or at like a junior section, but they're super cheesy. Same with something like this. I would only want to build one of these in a park, and that's like kind of really cheesy. I do the sea dragon. I don't actually know why I called it a sea dragon when I made this. I just kind of built it next to the water. So let's do that. So this, I just made this myself. It's not really like a crazy design. Anyone can do this. Just made an interlocking looping, and then yeah, did the steep with steep twisted turns. This would be an interesting queue line, but I do actually unironically want to do it like that. I don't know why, but screw it. Alright, so Sea Dragon, it will be pretty intense because of the lateral G penalty. But if you don't go over 3.10, it's fine. So this will be only in people who really like intense rides will actually want to ride this. But because the stats are like so high, you can actually charge a lot for it. We'll just make sure it's, yeah, it looks too intense for me. But if you still have people riding it, it's still good. It'll make you more money. It's nice to have variety anyway. Twister roller coaster, that is very good. Probably like one of the best, if not the best, roller coasters in the game. You can also build shuttle designs with it very easily. So we got a corkscrew. We have the looping coaster down here. Really should build a junior coaster. I really should just build one of these. I just don't really know exactly where to build it. This is why I like landscapes like this, because it actually makes you think about what you're doing, rather than just, making the same old thing over and over again. I'd like to work around a hill, so might just do this, so I can do the lift hill, the curved lift hill, which looks really cool, and then can do like a windy section down here. It's kind of weird to build a junior like this actually, but I think it'll be pretty cool. Oof. You know what? What if I actually just commit to going like doing a little bit of an underground section with this? Might look pretty cool. I will probably just rearrange the hill after I do this. So I just got to raise this so I can go down. Let's do some like airtime hills. Nice little windy bit of track. And then wait until we hit where we have to change the construction again. Do you get out of the hill? What should I do here? I just keep building up and go like that. Did I do down helix? No. I do like it coming back around here though. Just a little dip underground, a few hills, a few turns. I don't want to make this coaster exceptionally long because it is a junior. 25 meters. Yeah, I think. I try S bend? No. I was hoping that I would be able to get a nice little curved lift piece here. But what I think I might do is diagonal. If I can. Probably not. That is kind of weird. Do need to make sure I can actually get the train back to the station. Probably looking at like we're going to do another underground section here. Let's just build through here and then I'll connect it underground. This probably looks a bit nicer doing it like this. Probably don't need a bank anymore. You build the entrance on this side. Exit on that side. I'm not sure if I want to do block sectioned actually. If I can get 3 trains on the track in block section, that would be great. Turns out I can't. I could add a block here. Let's hold on. Three block sections, and it only lets me put 2 trains. I never really understand why that's the case. I don't know why I can't have a train up there starting and then one at the station, one in there, but because of that, I'm just going to use continuous circuit mode and we'll get 3 trains with 7 cars for a total 21 car capacity. While we're letting it test, we can go ahead and build. Maybe I don't want to build over the station because it'll look ugly when I change it to Pagoda. Or do I? I don't know. I actually kind of want to just build through this bit, so I'm just going to do it. Screw it. You can see it's actually pretty slow at that point. Should be a good ride, actually. I'll go ahead and open that up, and I will just straight up charge probably 8 for this. It's pretty good, you know, for a junior. I mean, the stats obviously are not that great. I don't know, I think it would be cool to ride just with the underground sections, and I think that's pretty cool. I don't really build underground that often, and with a junior, it just makes it a lot more interesting, I'd say. Might keep it... I don't want to make every single ride golden red, so I might do like a green with brown, support, so it's kind of like trees. We'll do dark brown, salmon pink, light brown. Yeah, let's do dark brown. Alright, that looks fine. You can kind of notice that the edge of the sprite, the corner of the tile or whatever, does pop up through the path, but barely noticeable. We'll just keep zoomed out the whole time, and then no one will notice it. Just before we move on, we'll just make it seem more manufactured, those parts. It's a bit nicer. That is an alarm. Let's save this. Put on fast forward. See if we make any money. Okay, so we unlocked a bunch of rides, and we've got some more cash. So, park's working out pretty good. Have a look at what we got. Pretty good coasters, actually. So, I mean, we've already have the twist. It's always funny in these scenarios, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't want people to stop doing this, because it's just, I don't know. It's always nice to have a good coaster, but it's always interesting when they give you, or a scenario gives you something like the twister that's just really, really good, and then later on it will give you something like the suspended swinging or the mini suspended, which are just not nearly as good. I love all these rides. I'm not complaining about having any of them. I personally like the suspended swinging coaster and the mini suspended coaster a lot. Just for creativity purposes. LIM launch coaster is also very interesting. It's basically a better version of looping roller coaster. Because same track and everything, but just has more elements. It's one of the few coasters I know that LIM launched that has like vertical loop, half loop, corkscrew, and twist. Yeah, I kind of forget we have like 700 guests almost, so we're having quite a bit of litter in the park, and I haven't actually placed any. Yeah, the paths are absolutely disgusting. I wish, you know how the trees, it'll let you spam trees, like if you do that? I wish there was an equivalent for placing benches and stuff like that. Or just like, you know, you enter in the amount of squares you want to use to place a bench. I know that kind of makes things lazy, but I don't know. If there's one thing in this game that's like a real chore, it's just placing benches and bins everywhere. It's kind of to a point where like usually my solution was just hire more staff. I basically would just put benches wherever it's flat, and then wherever it's not flat, I will put the bins, because you can't put benches on a staircase. Try that. Try it at home if you want. Good luck. Let's put a bunch in the middle, because this just seems like a bit of a dead area. Everyone's like... Yeah, there are stalls down here as well. There we go, look at that park rating. It's up to 900 again, when it dropped down to about 700 from all the litter and stuff. And we are getting good bank, which is cool. I just leave the chairlifts at that price. It's not really big issue. Okay, so we haven't actually built Wooden Wild Mouse yet. This is one coaster. Probably should just build one design for straight away. You have kid design that tanks a penalty. I think this tanks the length penalty, maybe. Yeah, ride length 130. I think it needs to be 200. Yeah, 200. Or does it? 190? I forget. But this one meets the requirement. Maybe it's 180 actually. But yeah, 130 is just not enough. Is there a design here that takes a penalty? I don't actually want to build one per se. I'll just build one of these mischievous mice designs. These are actually made by me. Let's do the one with the higher excitement. I'm not really sure where to put it. All these are flat pre-built designs that are quite sizable. It's not too much great space to put them in. This, I think if I put it here, I'll delete that scenery. I don't know if I want to do that. That scenery, I kind of wish it would be part of the ride. It would be really cool. Yeah, that would do the trick. Cool. I actually like this position quite a bit. So, turn on testing, let it get its stats. What's going on here? To queue line like this. Nice and fancy. Alright, maybe we won't do that. There we go, so we'll walk up there and probably go into that ride. And yeah, these things have great stats. You probably just charge straight up $12 for like a decent design that doesn't tank penalties. Maybe. People say it looks intense because it's just how the ride is. Can't afford it. Oh, that's right. We need an ATM. Remember at the start I said if you have information kiosks and toilets, you're fine. You don't really need ATMs actually, because those guests that run out of money just leave the park and gets replaced by more once they've spent all their money. Which is a much bigger deal in pay for entry parks, but this isn't. So I don't know. It's probably actually quite negligible. I will probably enable shops and stall research now just to get an ATM at some point. I already have really good roller coasters, so I don't really need to develop anything else. Probably have all the, like, I literally, you have all the roller coasters you need to beat a scenario with even just like a corkscrew, but what else can we build that we haven't yet? I do want to eventually, like, the thing is about flying roller coaster in these, I want to build like a big kind of design, just have like a really cool roller coaster. So I'm kind of building and getting all these other ones out the way first, the cheaper ones. It's actually really cool when you're building a park and you're like thinking about what roller coaster you're gonna make. It's actually really cool to actually think about this sort of stuff and use a bit of creativity. So I am actually really enjoying this scenario quite a bit. What should we build? Decisions. I like, again, a ride like this, it seems kind of scammy. I think I'll place this and then talk about what I mean. Build it over some path, makes it look extra exotic. Let's build it here and then rearrange. The station, whenever I do pre-builts, I don't know why I always just I just default to putting the station at the first piece, but with rides of trains, it's actually not a good idea to do that. Anyways, what I was saying was, I actually like the idea of having these sorts of roller coasters in a park. If you consider these do a few laps, you know, people would actually pay for them and enjoy them. So I don't really think them as like complete scams. Sorry, whoever's living in that building is just now gone, so... And then we'll just build, like, direct down path. Can we do that? Kind of. Yeah, that works. So, like, realistically, the compromise between a realistic design, what I do is basically, yeah, you imagine one of these, if you did 3 or 4 laps, like, people would unironically, like, guests would unironically pay for that and be relatively happy with that ride experience. So, aesthetically, this makes sense as a ride, but just to make it more efficient and better throughput, I just set it to 1 lap, and you can just kind of pretend... You just kind of pretend that people are not getting scammed by having multiple laps on that ride, and it's actually decent. So that's like my compromise between aesthetic and practicality. Yeah, $8, that's fair. $8 is fair for that, for one little ride and a twist. Realistically, in Australia, that's probably what someone would pay for a lap of that. The ride prices here are ridiculous. What was I doing? Go to entrance, that's what I want to do. Oh, it's still closed, that's the issue, it's still in testing mode. I was like, why aren't people going on it? And we'll color it up a little bit. Let's change this to like golden support. Saturated red. I don't know, that doesn't really look that great. I'll do Bordeaux red for this one, I think. Yeah, that looks nicer actually, a lot nicer. For that ride particular. This one, I just kind of want to leave like this. It's just a wooden wild mouse design. I don't need to make every single ride Chinese themed. And in my defense, if you try to like make these like too colorful, sometimes they don't look as good. So I just kind of leave it how it is. I haven't actually checked to see what guest spawn is because that can always be altered. Looks like they have quite a bit of money. 70. Doesn't matter. If it's not paid entry, I'm not too fussed. And we'll just go into the next ride. We'll just keep building roller coasters wherever we can fit them, I guess. So we built all the ones at the top except a mine train. I don't know if I want to build a mine train. I could later, but thematically, the mine train makes the least sense out of any of these rides. Lay down cars, mini suspended. This, I love this ride. Obviously, in the context of the game, it's not the most fantastic thing. One of the weaker rides, but in terms of real life, like if I went to a park and had a bunch of stuff, like even huge, massive coasters, if I had one of these, I would 100% ride one. I think it would be so fun. So I think a good idea is maybe we build it at the top of a hill and then go down. We'll do a design like that. And then you just connect it at the end. Connect it back up at the end. Alright, so build... Reason I do this is that I have the exact height that I want. Do a little lift tilt to give people the impression that they're going up. Give them a look at the sky. Do a massive drop. And then I love doing these like too high. Oh, what a shame. I love doing the massive like the really wide turns on this. That would just be so fun, like on a ride like this, to just get some speed and just take like a massive turn while you're just flying on that. Imagine being this high, going that fast and having a huge swinging turn around that while you're just laying in this mat. That would be insane. That would actually be so cool. So I never really build diagonally, but it does really just seem like the play here, just because I got that little bit to work with. I actually I'm not too keen to build... Like, I do kind of want it to crest a hill for any G-force requirement it might meet, so I might just do that here. do a long station just to get as many cars in as we can. Probably, I did kind of want to like a underground design. It just kind of worked out this way. This doesn't look particularly that interesting now that I think about it. So probably should like do something a bit more interesting with it. I think I know what to do. I think I'll go underground through here, make it just loop back, and then jump out back here and wrap up. Like a tunnel feature again. Look at that, these wide turns. And a drop, wide turn, drop. I was gonna say, is that coaster in the way? I hope not. And just like a little rocking back and forth section. Oh, no, 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 no. What are we doing here? Most beautiful park in the country again. Again, that has absolutely nothing to do with me. What am I doing here? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I really, really want the exit here, actually, so I'm just gonna get rid of this stuff. I feel bad deleting these buildings. I really don't want to like get rid of scenery whenever like it's, you know, effort's been put into it. Even though it's like the most efficient thing to do. I'm also, yeah, I want to build a queue line over this actually, because I can't really build on one underneath. And stuff like this is kind of shows how amateur I am at like aesthetic sort of designs. I mean, you can just see this is a complete mess. It's just a complete mess. Why don't we maybe do this? It's just... I put a lot of effort into trying to make sure the ride seems cool and aesthetic. And then I just build queue line like this. That just makes no sense whatsoever. Hold on, what have we got? Lay down cars. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, they're kind of like mats, and what I like to do is I would also like to individually color those, the actual mat components. So we set like the support thing to black, and then different colors per car, and then you just manually set all the colors, but I don't want to do that right now. It's pretty interesting how much, like, they have actually lost pretty much all their speed by the time they get to the end. What do we want color-wise? I do like just a solid black track on this. I just think it works. Support-wise, I'm not sure, though. Grey, I don't know. Something looks off. Maybe I do want a deep red, and then... gold supports, pagoda entrance. And then I want to do actually what I did before with all the hill sections and just kind of make them look designed by man. That'll work. Oh, pretty cool. Look at that. There's actually pretty cool stats for a mini suspended coaster, actually, considering I didn't really put too much effort into it. I did put a bit of effort into it, but I'm not micromanaging. Like, you know, you can get this to 6 quite easily, add a few more scenery or just, like, some path. But all this, like, underground section, the cliffs next to it would also... actually... Oh, there's none of the black pathing in this, which is interesting. It's probably done that on purpose so you can't cheese it. But what I would do is, I was actually looking for that black pathing, and then I would do this. That really just bumped the excitement rating up to 6.12. That is insane. I actually can't believe that. I thought it was just bare. I didn't even expect to get to 10 at all. That's pretty cool. Build anything like shanty looking. Yeah, a bit of fence there, and maybe if there's like a post, a wall. Need a flat wall. Level land required. Footpath in the way. Yeah, that's rubbish. Let's just put that path back and forget about it. Let's just leave that. Let's just leave it like that. No one will ever notice. I've noticed my guests have gone up significantly. Feels like I had 700 guests a while ago. Am I charging good money for things? This would be too intense for most people, will it? It's actually not too bad. This ride is the intense one, that's why no one's riding it. Can always lower the speed, but that's my only like really intense ride at the moment, I think. What else have we got? So I want to do mini sus and a twister, and then flying roller coaster. I do want to build like a really cool one. Flying roller coasters are amazing for like big designs, just like really cool looking ones. You can do so much with them. The upside down track part of the flying roller coaster is so cool. I really hate how a lot of rides in this game, when you do, for example, like an inversion, any inversion, it's like I have a half loop, and you just need one more tile. You just want one more tile so you can just fit something in there, like scenery or anything. It's just nice to have the option, but with a lot of tracks, you're actually just forced to just close the inversion out with another inversion, and it doesn't let you continue the track. So you can't do like a half loop and then do one piece upside down. You have to finish it off with another half loop or a corkscrew or a twist. And I don't know, it'd just be cool to be able to just... I know you can't travel upside down with every single car, which is probably why they do that. Would be the reason why they do that, but I don't know, it just makes a flying roller coaster a lot nicer than the other ones. Suspended. I kind of want to build a suspended swinging coaster. I do like suspended swinging coasters. I have a thing for the rides that they have like just high all stats. It seems ridiculous in like puke machines, but then you can just charge so much for any design because all their stats are just so juiced. Swinger is a pre-built that I did. Regurgitator. What a ride. Look at 10.4 nausea on that. My god. Question is, where exactly do you build this? At least with these, you can do the mega chain lift with the gap. You can also put a normal steep as well included, but I don't actually want to do that. Probably make this dive around this little area and then close it back up just here, because later on, if we really need to expand the park, we can actually just build around like this little square and have no issues with it. We can also build path underneath this bit, which would be pretty cool. But for now, let's just worry about... Have a nice drop. You do... Hold on. Go steep. That's too high. Let's do some airtime hills. Are we gonna hit the berry? No, we're not. And just do helixes as well. I'll probably put some at the end. If you do too many helixes, like, you'll just get so much nausea. Like, it just gets so insane so quickly. Have it twist through the valley if we can. Can we do that? What's blocking? It's the... Okay. Yeah, this is actually not bad. Not bad. Helix down. Oh, look at that. Look at the helix. They're huge, the helix. That's really not worth putting it in. I want to leave this just in case. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just do one little thing there. I think what I can probably do is have some... I probably don't need... Brakes is probably a stupid idea at the end of an uphill, because if you brake it, it gets too slow. It will just valley. Really leave that there and just have chain lift just in case. And we'll build the entrance on this side. I thought I had the hot dog stall. That must have been the sub sandwich stall that I put down here. Yeah, that's the subway. Put the entrance, the exit on this side rather. And then what we can actually do, this is pretty smart, because I kind of just remember that this is a bit of scenery that I put the no entry sign there. We can just connect that there. And then what we can do this is why I like being able to change the landscape. Oh, look at that, look at that. Perfect. Alright, where are we going to connect this though? That is a problem. That is a bit of a problem. You know what? Maybe we should just do this anyway. How should I go about this? Actually, I know what to do. What am I doing? No, guess. What are they doing? Get out of my queue line. What I actually do is, so then people would go, like, people will turn there, and then as soon as they've actually turned here, they will just go straight to that queue line. And unless it's too sickening for them, they will just go on the ride. I should have had this testing. I really should have had this testing. Let's see, 2 trains by 7, or can we do 15, 14, 15? This would be fine. Still make the hill. That's why I don't do them too long. Alright, that ride looks like it's going way too fast. So we'll see what the actual stats are like. Okay then, okay. Just a little bit too fast, just a little bit. Hmm. How actually should I fix this? Because you can do a lot, but I mean... okay. Oh. Do S-bend. I'm not. I'm not doing that. Alright, what's in the way here? Is it... really? This is why people don't like this ride. It's very, very finicky. So what I want to actually do is... somehow get it through here and then back. Just so I can give it a bit more length. So I just do this, I think. It's funny, I was talking about how I like building this. It's a bit of a challenge. Like... I can't believe how much clearance you need sometimes. Like, are you kidding me? What is going on here? Oh, okay. That actually makes sense. Oh, it's just perspective. This is going to be like a disaster of a ride. This is already looking pretty sketch. That'll be a nice little section for those guys to carry on, and then do some brakes, and then some airtime hills for a bit of excitement. And reconnect. Let's redo this section, I think. Okay. Let's see if this actually changes anything. That may be dangerous. The rest of it looks okay, though. I'm just gonna hope this is okay. I'll open it, and if it's still screwed, I will probably change it again. This is even worse! This is even worse. That was a stupid idea. I think it's specifically these hills that are really, really bad. The curved... where are my height markers? There we go. Like, what the hell? It must just be those turns, the really small ones. Alright, that is acceptable. I will take that. I will actually take that. The ride doesn't look very glamorous at all. Let's do border red. Might just do, yeah. Oh, saturated red, rather. Purple trains. Purple doesn't really match. Do like a royal purple, maybe a bit better. I don't really have to make every ride like that. Can always do the carts to be red and gold instead. What about I don't know. I think just black is inoffensive if I just have a black track like that. Stat-wise, the nausea rating, man. This is this is a bad design. I'm just gonna say it. This is a bad design. It doesn't even look particularly good. But hey, it did break down already. I barely tested it. Well, that's fine because that guest is sitting there, and I want him to pay a decent chunk when he gets in the ride because he's worth. With all these stats, are worth quite a bit. Again, obviously intensity, not as much as excitement and nausea, really doesn't contribute much at all. But when you have a stat that much, it actually does make a difference. There's a huge chunk. Let's check out park value. 200,000. Huge. Absolutely huge. We barely got halfway. Free rides on a chairlift. That's whatever's the cheapest. Free noodles. Free fried rice. Fried rice noodles. Isn't that an oxymoron? Like, is it rice or is it noodles? Interesting. Advertising campaign. What's that best ride with the best stats, actually? Probably the corkscrew. Yeah, Sea Dragon. But pretty much all of our money on advertising in these coasters. I'm starting to wonder why the guests haven't gone up much. Like, a year has passed and I'm not getting any more guests. So I guess it's harder guest generation. I don't know. That seems like the only logical explanation, but we were getting guests very early on, but I'd only build thrill rides. Building like no roller coasters, and then all I built is roller coasters since then. 23 rides, attractions. What else have we got? Let's keep building. Let's keep building. See if we get more guests. Haven't built Twister yet. That's probably our next priority. Yeah, we built like everything except Twister, Flying, Water Coaster, and the Mine Train. Mine Train, I don't know if I'm gonna build one actually. I'd rather this be a wooden coaster. It just seems like it would just fit. Just fit better. Because I mean, are Chinese really known for their mine trains? I don't think so. I don't think so. Everything else here is Chinese themed, but the mine, I don't know about mines. Probably not. Let's just Twister. What have we got? Oh, that's right. I actually made a dragon themed like shuttle coaster for this, so I could probably stick one in. Hallucination. That's the pre-built I built. It's not even that good. The rock bottom plunge. Oh, I didn't even save. Ah, I did. The skiffer loop design. I can rearrange this design a bit. Quite pricey. Let's just get a loan out of this. Oh, we can actually have a lot of loan. That's kind of interesting. That's not that that's a complaint. we will change the color of this and just make it Chinese themed. There we go. That works. Probably actually charge a bit more than 10. Let's do 12. On ride photo price, I always bump up to $3. And color wise, we'll change the name of this. I don't know. The Enchanted Dragon. Let's make everything dragon related. Color scheme. Saturated red. Let's do saturated red for both of them. And then alternate, we'll make the loop gold. That might be cool. I mean, it's something. It's something. Yeah, I don't know. I just find it tricky when you're trying to make two colors of the track. But then again, this, I don't know if this looks particularly any better. Bordeaux red. You always do a mix of Bordeaux and another red on the rim of the track. Let's just see how it looks if we do that. Not very good. It's so hard to pick colors for roller coasters sometimes. Like, this looks too saturated, this red, but if I have it all Bordeaux, then the loop doesn't look very good. Yeah, that's a skiffer loop design that I did. It's not even particularly that great. Just trying to make it so that you can fit a skiffer loop in a design without it looking really, really... yeah, I think if you want to make a skiffer loop look good, you need like a big design that goes around the park, and you just have like one isolated skiffer loop. Otherwise, it's a pretty, like, it's a really cool looking element, but it's just not very efficient or like good at doing anything in particular. It's just like a fun thing you can do. So I think in a compact design, this is the only really thing I could just come up with, is just like try to fill space. You have the launch lift hill. You just need some track through the skiffer loop, unless you have it isolated entirely. Do no entry sign at the exit here, so we don't get guest lost. And the park value, how's it looking? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Alright, halfway there. I'm playing for an hour and 13 minutes. Just need to keep building, really, is all we need to keep doing at this point. We could build park value bombs and finish the goal like that, but what fun is that? Let's even get some profit going. I'd like to have just bulk load of money surplus. I know we got the loan going, but loan's just racking up interest. I always like to clear the loan. If I'm going to earn a lot of money, I just like to clear the loan so that I can actually... I know how much money that I just have. Yeah, park value, pretty decent. The rides are all going to age, so by the time we finish building things, we just reopen everything. And then it should be okay. I also have kind of forgotten... Lower the I don't think you should really disable the minimum waiting time. on a chairlift. I'm not sure actually. 14-kilometer speed. Really should just be set like that ages ago. Oh, fried chicken. Everyone loves fried chicken. We got the ATM as well. That's nice. Let's put some random ATMs just here and there. Smart to put them between entrance and exit of a ride. Also, I need to... Oh, what's going on here? What the hell? I was like, why is this not matching, not linking to the path? There we go. You probably want them between the entrance and the exit, but this I'm charging too much for. Not paying that much. There we go. That will happen with a few other rides as well, I believe. I'll just lower it preemptively, I think. Suspended swinging. It looks too intense and too sickening for anyone to ride. Probably just a bad idea to build a coaster like that. Whoever's going on is enjoying it though. So that's nice. I built the twister here. What else are we going to build? So keep building, keep building, keep building. I haven't really built water coaster. Maybe I should just build one of those. I really have honestly not built like a full water coaster design myself. It's just like a junior coaster with splash elements, is it? Flying coaster it is. Maybe. Sundered. This design I did myself. Look at those stats. How cool is that? I wish I could make it 8 intensity and keep the other stats the same, but... You can build a decent design of these that costs less than 10k. I think this Sundered design is actually pretty cool, so I might just build that rather than like a massive one for now. I just want to make sure it will build like a reasonable height without it being just insane, because oh my god, the supports. I don't think I'm going to be building this design anywhere. Wow. I really should just be building my own design. Oh, oh. Oh, what is this? This is looking promising. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, not enough cash. I was so close. I was so close. Nice. So, I'll just build this down here. And not enough cash. Okay, then. Cool. So, open this up. Set a nice price. Really good stats. As long as intensity isn't too much to make someone think it's too intense to ride, you actually want as much intensity as possible. And probably you can easily get 7 excitement just by having, I don't know, a cliff or like anything, any like path over the ride. I just don't really think it's worth just putting a random path over a ride like this, if we're talking about compromise of aesthetics. I did kind of do it down here, but that doesn't look as bad or awful. It's just kind of like a catwalk. Whereas this design doesn't really justify anything like that. But yeah, this design, I don't know. I think it'll be a fun design to ride. Is have a huge drop here, twist, and then it catches you, so you're still flying. Nice rounded drop, twist, and then you get a nice fast airtime hill upside down, helix around, twist back and jump up and close the circuit. So pretty short. But every flying coaster you want, I don't know, I'd probably, this doesn't actually matter, you can do whatever the hell you want, but 1/3 of it being like, you're upside down. I just think that's kind of the point of the ride. You want to have a section of the track where you're upside down and do some stuff that would be really cool, but not too insane. Can do like a completely gold ride, actually. It's probably a good idea. Yeah, this actually looks nice. Bordeaux red maybe looks better. I'm not sure. Not salmon pink. Actually, I think I actually prefer the Bordeaux red over the saturated red here. Looks pretty good. Something else you can do. You put at the end where people are like guaranteed to walk from the exit, and they will bump into the cash machine and just get cash out. Very likely. See, some of the guys are stopping there. Yeah, so they empty their pockets on the ride, then they exit it, and they just walk in a straight line, and they just get to the thing. You can also do that with fast food, first aid rooms. So they'll walk here, forced to walk to the right, and then, yeah, some of them will actually, if they're sick, they will walk into the first aid room. See, that guy was sick, he just walked straight into it. Looked like he was about to vomit his nuts off. Alright, so, advertising. Need to run all of our ad campaigns again. Buy all the cheap ones at least. Now that I've got... Probably change the name of Sundered. I just leave it like that so I know what ride it is. Still unlocking roller coasters, which is quite surprising. I got a... oh, sweet. Inverted Impulse. That is very good. I love these. Again, for the same reason I talked about the Twister... These are actually rides that you'd realistically have in a park, and people would really be happy to pay for them. The difference is, you could just set it to 1 lap instead of 3 or 4. And then it looks the same, and it's just more efficient to do it that way. So I do like doing that. It's one of like the cheesy things I do. You know, I talked about how I don't want to make... this is probably better. Yeah, I don't want to just sit here and just spam micro coasters or anything. But tricks like this, is like, it still looks aesthetically cool. And, yeah. I don't know, I think it's fair. It's fair to do anything. Do whatever the hell you want in this game, honestly. Whatever is fun, I think, is the important thing. Can't really... like, oh, if you're not having fun, why else would you play the game? You know. So just whatever is like a good, happy medium. Alright, I cannot do that. Where am I going to put this? Exit paths, interesting question. I might just have to do this. Get rid of another building. The poor residents of these buildings, man. The poor residents of these buildings. So you do chest, turn it to 1 circuit. It doesn't really matter. And we'll open that up. Set the price to, I don't know, $8 for this one. It's just... up and twist and back and drop. So yeah. Just admiring my own ride for a second. So save again in case something goes wrong. I just want to reduce the loan as we go. Seems kind of like stupid. You don't really need to do this. It's just a habit of mine, honestly. Giga Coaster. Okay, looks like we're building one of those. Plundered. Get it? Sundered, plundered. I really made this design over and over and over again and just changed the name so that I could just build whichever one. I think I was just adjusting the brake speed and stuff like that. Put that down here, maybe. It's kind of like the chairlift's in the way, but oh, nice. We should have just the amount of space to chuck one down here. And it's cool having a nice like water themed ride here. I know I literally have the water coaster, but yeah, but nothing. What am I doing? I'm trying to get the exit. There we go. Yes, design. Wow, there's no. I was like, where are the supports? Looks like there was no supports for a second. Yes, design for the Giga I like. I actually, one of Marcel's video, it has this element at the start. You just have, because the train is so long, you can literally just go lift into a steep turn, and then go back into the normal. And you just need, you can't actually put the chain lift on the steep pieces, obviously. So when you go from the lift to flat, and you just put just the chain lift here, you can actually get a train all the way from this bottom lift bit to that top bit. Then you drop, and then a booster to clear the next hill. So I saw a design Marcel had, and you do that to start the design, and then I just basically, the rest of it I just made so that it was kind of like a compact sort of Giga. And yeah, very small ride, and you get some good stats on it. And I think the perk of this over having some other designs like this, I was just wanting to make sure that I could have 2 full-size trains, so I did add a just a block brake at the end there. And not only having 2 trains, but 2 trains with the block brake block section, you can actually manage so that they don't crash. So I do like this design. Not perfect, probably could do way better than this, but the idea is there. Park value, we're getting close. We are getting close, actually. So it looks like we are going to be able to finish this soon. We just build a few more rides and we'll get there. Have we got all the roller coasters in this scenario? No, we haven't. Kind of surprising. We've unlocked quite a lot. Very good ride selection, actually. I haven't unlocked any of the through rides because I didn't have it enabled, but that's totally fine. Like again, probably too late at this point to put in an aesthetic Helter Skelter or Ferris wheel, because I am actually pretty keen to close this scenario out before I just start to get exhausted. Not of the scenario, but just of the game. I'm playing like 2 hours. I could build every single one of these except Water Coaster and the Mine Train. It's kind of interesting. The Spruce Goose. Wow, 7.20 excitement. Oh, is this like an unsung good roller coaster? What is this? 7,000 cost for 7.20 excitement rating. I guess there's scenery with that, but I mean, Jesus. I guess I just build my own design. I really have no idea what I'm doing with this. Science Speeder on top of this. Oh, wow. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. You can only build the water if it's flat. Yeah, the track's submerged. Okay. How high up are we? That's, yeah, too high. Or is it? Wasn't it 15 meters here? 12. A little splash section. Small. Will this be okay? Oh wow, you can do... That's crazy to look at, the S-bend. Actually, that makes sense because some other ride elements have it, don't they? I don't know, actually. This is a log station, man. Oh my god. Splash element should really slow the ride down, shouldn't it? Probably add, yeah, lift hill, just in case it's like completely slowed down. This is like I think this is the first time I've ever built a water coaster, so let's see how this goes. This doesn't look awful. Not particularly good. But yeah, there you go. The ride slows right down. So yeah, just have the lift hill at the end of that, and this should be okay. I think it should meet stat requirements. I don't think that looks particularly bad. Kind of awkward here. I'm just gonna do a short thing. Short queue path. And we'll open this sucker right up. Hopefully we don't have any stat penalties. We shouldn't do. Seems like a very innocuous, yeah, middle of the run coaster. Pretty happy with that, actually. Doesn't look particularly glamorous. White. Do we want white supports as well? I actually like white wooden supports. They actually look kind of cool. This is looking a bit, I don't know, good and bad at the same time. It would look a lot better if I actually put a lot more effort into it. I don't know. I do want some white on the map because there really isn't much. Park value is still going up. Have we unlocked any new roller coasters? I may have missed one. Alright, we got all the shops and stalls. Yeah, cash machine. That's the only one I actually want to unlock. We have unlocked a bunch of other stuff, but not going to place it. Alright, let's cheese a little bit. I have escape hatch down here. I want to build another one on the other side. This is interesting. Maybe. I don't know. What I do eggs, put the eggs to where this one is. But then I don't know exactly where I want to build this entrance. As long as I can connect it somewhere, I'm good, but... Again, these sorts of path really looks ridiculous, but you can see it's connected there because it wasn't put up anywhere else. So we'll go ahead and we will go to the effort, because we're cheesing a little bit, we'll go to the effort to actually change the color. What have I done here? There we go. Getting a lot of cash too. I could probably just build some pre-builts, close this out. Oh, wooden roll. There we go. Again, I actually pointed this out with another scenario a while ago. Again, there's nothing wrong with just giving players more options as they go. But I think if you include the wooden coaster, it should just be one of the first rides that you build. Just by merit of it not being particularly fantastic, but it just being a decent option to just always have. It just, it's kind of... I just think it's strange when you go from basic selection to like some of the better coasters in the game, like Twister and Giga, and then after that you get wooden and stuff. Again, it's just a nitpick. I wouldn't like tell anyone to take that into account too much. I'm gonna do pre-builts from now on, not because I'm bored of the scenario, but more because I've just been playing the game for quite a while. I don't really play games for too long at a time, so this is actually this is also a design in one of Marcel's videos. It's like the only quote unquote efficient wooden coaster designs that I would place on an even day. And of course, we make it pagoda themed. And even make the colors. Maybe invert these as so it has like gold plates and stuff on the actual track. Don't know how this doesn't look particularly good, does it? I think the train 2 can be like a purple or something. Might fit a little bit nicer. I love this. I love when you actually have well-built rides, because you wonder why the queue line is empty. And it's just purely because it's like the throughput's decent. I don't have this design. I used a flawless trains with when I built it originally, and I didn't actually double check how much I could actually fit on there, but still fine. It's still fine. Also, I think I built all that without even closing the window for this. That's right. At this point, money's not really an issue. I don't need to really micromanage the prices or anything, but... Alright, marketing campaign. We gotta get these going again. Advertising campaign for the chairlift. Let's do it. Through a rise. I don't need any of these other ones. If I build like, get a roto drop would be pretty cool. I can pay back my loan too, because I've earned so much money. Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much like a foregone conclusion that the park's gonna be one. I mean, you could just obviously always just plant more thrill rides and everything. Oh, and there we go. Just as I was saying that, I actually had no idea that I was gonna hit that. That's really cool. So Dragon Valley, really like this scenario. There's actually a lot of room to just keep expanding the park and doing things. And realistically, I could have gone back and decorated a lot of this stuff. I just kind of wanted to keep to the theme. I think it's always the thing about scenarios like this where you have two sides that aren't connected. Same with like Jurassic, that scenario, whatever it's called, is you have to connect them with paths anyways, otherwise you'll have issues with the mechanics. A mechanic will go to fix a ride on the other side of that where they are, and they won't be able to access it. And that is just intolerable. So I'm guaranteed, unless I literally have no option, if I can, I'm going to definitely 100% build path connecting the two sides. And then usually what I do then is just make sure in the middle of the path there's just some food and drink and everything, and just a couple rides so that they're not completely miserable. And then you just build your two sides as if they're kind of like their own parks, and just kind of go from there. You can see I've basically built everything around just the paths that already existed and the connections, and I haven't worried too much about creating new grids or anything. In a scenario like this, it's kind of difficult to create grids of path, like, you know, squares of path when you just have all these hills and everything. So it's pretty cool to like go around, have a look at what you can build. I did plan on making like just some big coaster that goes all the way around or something, but kind of run out of steam at this point. Been a long day. Basically just played for almost 2 hours straight, which is more than enough for one day, I think. So to review the scenario, pretty much recap what I just said. I really like it. I really like the landscape. Good choice of even just the trees used. It's almost like, it's honestly that level of good landscaping where I don't really have much to comment on, because it's definitely better than anything I could build. It's something that, like, I'm not really qualified to nitpick these sorts of things. Like, these features look great. Like, I really like these features a lot. Only thing, yeah, like the window, like the color's fine. Maybe I would do grey windows, I'm not sure, but I think it looks fine. I'm guessing this is like a car park or something. Oh, look, we got the Hyper Twister. That's another one. I'll just quickly say, it's kind of interesting to give the player the Hyper Twister after a Twister. Like, I would just swap those. You can obviously throw the player a bone. I mean, the player's already got Junior Coaster and a Corkscrew Coaster and a Looping Coaster early on, so they have room to just create, like, efficient things to help them get off the ground. But, and again, like, it's always, you know, it's fine to have, just give the player more options and more stuff to build, even after, like, you know, you give them some good coasters and then just more after that, so they just have options. But yeah, I just kind of find it interesting whenever a scenario has two designs that are very similar and it gives you the inferior one later on. Just kind of doesn't make sense, but that's just a complete nitpick. I found the scenario very, very fun, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered to stream it. I actually looked at it and I was thinking, I actually kind of want to sit down and play this when I have like a couple hours to do so, and beat the scenario, record it just in case the person who or anyone else wanted to actually see it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough of Dragon Valley scenario that was posted in Marcel's Discord. And that's pretty much the park. That's pretty much it. Use some pre-builds, but yeah.